The Buffalo Bills have always been more than a football team. To their fans, they're a heartbeat, loud, stubborn, and impossible to kill. And every season, just when the world thinks the Bills are done, they write another chapter that reminds everyone what resilience looks like. This season felt different from the start. The pressure was heavier, the expectations even louder, and the critics, they were ready. Every mistake echoed across social media. Every loss became a headline, and every win felt like survival. But in the middle of all the noise, the Bills' locker room stayed locked into one belief. They were built for moments like these. As the weeks rolled by, Buffalo fought through everything: injuries, setbacks, and games that pushed them to the brink. But that's when their identity showed. When the fourth quarter tightened, when the clock ran low, when the stadium went silent, that's when the Bills refused to bend. Their star players stepped up with a fire that didn't look like talent. It looked like soul. A quarterback who wasn't just throwing footballs, but throwing hope. A defense that wasn't just tackling, but surviving. And fans who weren't just watching, but living every snap like their own heart was on the line. Then came the game that changed everything. A must-win night under bright lights, with the entire league watching and waiting to see if Buffalo would crack or climb. The first half was rough. Missed opportunities, costly mistakes. That feeling every Bills fan knows too well. But something shifted after halftime. You could see it in their eyes as they returned to the field. They weren't playing for stats anymore. They were playing for their city, for every fan who stood in the freezing cold, for every heartbreak the franchise had lived through, for every moment people counted them out. And when the comeback began, it wasn't explosive. It was steady, disciplined, almost poetic. Big throws when they were needed most. Defensive stand that felt like pure refusal. A final drive that looked like a team deciding their story wasn't ending tonight. When the game-winning play hit, the entire stadium didn't just cheer. It erupted like a volcano holding back for years. Fans cried, players collapsed, and even the commentators ran out of words. Because this wasn't just a win. It was a message. The Bills weren't done. They weren't broken. They weren't overrated. They were alive, fighting, and dangerous. And every team in the league suddenly remembered what Buffalo is capable of when their back is against the wall. This story isn't about football. It's about belief. It's about a team that keeps rising when the world expects them to fall. It's about a fan base that loves so fiercely it feels like fuel. And it's about a reminder that sometimes the strongest teams aren't the ones with perfect seasons. They're the ones who refuse to quit. Buffalo didn't just win a game. They reclaimed their identity. And the rest of the NFL felt it.